Evaluation question number 1. In what ways does your media products use, develop and challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So, first of all, my magazine uses the same conventions of a total film magazine, as both mastheads are at the top of the page and also fill the full length of the page. I also used the wording at the top as another feature, yet made it in my own words, as it adds something exclusive to the magazine. This feature isn't too common in magazines, which is why it was a convention I wanted to use. Using a mid-shot is also a convention I used also, because the picture is a main focal point, and I also overlapped the actor's head over the text as it shows more skill and is an effective technique to give the image more space. I also use a sticker to bring important information forward. It draws attention towards it as it is a foreign object, as everything else uses a consistent theme like blocky text. I used a web address which promotes extension of my product. It creates a bigger reader base also. Inside the ultimate puzzle here, it's appropriate to the narrative, as it's a psychological thriller, so the tagline brings out what genre it is. My secondary focal point, which is the cross, draws other sub-stories. The barcode is used because it's a professional thing, and it's appropriate to put it in the corner. If I put it somewhere else, it's not really appropriate. So when I developed it, I developed the title because I wanted the audience to digest it easier. So made it cleaner than the Inception one and thinner. So I did the identity thinner because I wanted to draw away from boldness, as most films use this to draw in audiences, like a bolder text to draw in the audience, whereas I wanted to use the image, as this is a main focal point, to an audience, I believe. This could be a negative thing that I used thinner text, because the title may be a main focal point for some people. I developed the theme of colour red, blue and white. But felt it was unnecessary to use thin, small fonts near this, because the Inception one uses a thin, small fonts, and I just wanted to keep it simple and just look bold and interesting here, instead of having this small little plus and here. I thought it'd be a little bit inconsistent with my background, because it might not, the contrast here, it might not show up because of the detective suit here. Whereas I think it looks nice here because it's on a black background and it just looks consistent and nice. As for challenge, I didn't really use a location in my title like Total Film did. This use of Inception location teases readers with elements from film, the buildings, whereas my background image is more mysterious as it's clouds and smoke, and it gives it a surreal look. However, I tease more primary subjects by using interview with David Ogden from Identity, as this is an important aspect as he's the main character in the film. it's a better way to also promote the film. I decided to use this as there isn't really an interview stated on this Total Film magazine, and I just thought it was a better thing to include as it relates to who is on the cover. So it makes sense that he's obviously doing an interview, and as he's the main actor on the cover. I use the green eyes on my poster because they stand out and they look eerie and create a psychological type of effect. I like how green is the main colour on the magazine, on the poster, sorry, as I think it draws in more attention to the character's face. I also use like the faded look and rubbed out a bit of Danny's face because it looks like he's emerging from the clouds. This is I think this is effective as it looks like he is alienated, and so does this character on here. I also use the same text for the credits. Where I developed, I decided to display the title at top, and it is much thinner comparing to this poster. I stated all the actors at the top, whereas the other poster stated just 2 actors who may be more well known and promote the film better. I decided to put all of them at the top because I've seen this on other posters. Danny's face stands out more as it's not as rubbed out, and it looks like he's appearing from behind the clouds, and this is somewhere where I think I developed as I've put more clouds around his face, whereas in this poster they use like rocks and it looks like an explosion. Danny is less transparent and more visible, so this is like a main focal point to the audience. And I added a texture onto his face to make him look more foreign-like. This ties in with the genre as it looks psychological and it looks similar to a maze. Like I took influence from Prisoners, where their main theme is mazes. And where I challenged, I used all the actors at the top because this is an effective way to draw audiences to your products. The title at the top is thinner, and Danny's head is a bit over the top of the title, but that's okay because it looks like he's emerging from out of the poster. I only used his face as a main focal point because he looks surreal, whereas in this one there's 2 characters on it. One is faded out and one just looks like someone of a higher status, so maybe a police officer or detective. I could have used this, but I decided to keep Danny's face bold on the poster. Another place where I challenged is the clouds. I decided to add more as it was just like this all over, but adding more towards his face makes him look like he's emerging again. I also used production company logos, and this law-abiding citizen one didn't. I think this is a good technique because it can show the audiences who made the film and who produced it, and I just think it is another aspect people would like to see on a poster.